All right, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. So basically, I'm doing this quick take solo because this is an emergency quick take that I had to record. Typically, I usually have a co-host on here, but in this case scenario, I do not. So we've got an article courtesy of yahoosports.com which says Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield falls off Beterbiev Bivol 2 undercard due to Schofield illness. The article goes on to say Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield is off, just days out from their title bout. The unbeaten Schofield has been forced out of his fight with WBC lightweight champion Stevenson due to illness. Stevenson versus Schofield was scheduled for Saturday on the Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol 2 undercard. Uncrowned confirmed the news Tuesday following an initial report by the Turkey Al Sheikh owned Ring magazine. Riyadh Season, the promotional entity operated by Al Sheikh and Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, is the primary promoter for the February 22nd Beterbiev versus Bivol 2 megacard. A late replacement opponent for Stevenson, 22-0, 10 KOs, is currently being sought. Britain's Josh Padley, 15-0, 4 knockouts, and Morocco's Moussa Golem, 20-1 and 12 knockouts, are the leading options under consideration. So, here are my thoughts about this shit, man. For one, I am absolutely baffled at this shit. And the reason why is because I feel like this would happen to Floyd Schofield and his fucking son. Honestly, like this really would happen to them. With all the shit talking that they've done, with all the interviews in the media that they've done, you would think that they would actually see this fight through to the end. They've been coming up with this whole narrative that like Shakur Stevenson is like the fucking godfather, or the godfather is looking out for Stevenson and is trying so hard to sabotage Floyd Schofield's camp, their ability to make the fight, talking about how, their house got broken into and they stole passports, their cars got keyed, their tires have been slashed, you know what I'm saying? Their food has been poisoned, all types of shit. And then now they're saying that Shakur Stevenson's masseuse wiped some sort of mysterious cream on this guy, and then now he's ill and can't fucking fight. Now, for one, it's like, how could this happen if you're the dad and you're attached to this dude like glue, attached at the hip? You're supposed to be protecting him from all of this shit. So let's say if on one hand all of this is true, this is your fault, Floyd freaking Schofield Sr., because you're supposed to be the one that's protecting your son. So how did this shit happen on your watch? Now, granted, I don't like Shakur Stevenson and I don't really like the Schofields either. But the only reason why I paid the Schofields any mind is because I found them to be entertaining. Particularly the father, watching him go back and forth with Keyshawn, you know what I'm saying? On I think it was, I forgot whose platform it is. I forgot the guy's name, but people listening, y'all know who I'm talking about. Going back and forth with Greg Hackett, and then him just being the character that he is. It's like literally these guys are the new age Sean Porter and Kenny Porter. Because for a while it just felt like Floyd Sr. wouldn't even let, little Floyd do any talking, and he would always just jump in front of the camera and then just do the shit that Kenny Porter was doing for a little while. Back in the day. Shout out to Kenny Porter. You know what I mean? But this would happen to them. And honestly, a big reason, or I don't want to say a big reason why I was looking forward to this card, but they were, a good portion of why I was looking forward to this card. The fight that I'm looking forward to most specifically is Hamza Shiraz versus Carlos Adames. And I honestly, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but let's say if I was, I'm putting money on Hamza Shiraz possibly stopping this guy, because Shiraz is the man right now at 160 for sure. So that's one. Two, I feel like Stevenson is missing out on a good opportunity, and here's why. Because although Shakur is the betting favorite in this fight, and he's obviously the most experienced, arguably on paper, he's the better fighter. The reason why this was such a good fight and the fact that it falling through was such a disappointment is because that this is good entertainment. When was the last time Shakur got in a ring with anybody and it was genuinely entertaining, where, the person that he was fighting had a personality outside of the ring. Because the last fight that Shakur had that I was genuinely entertained by was when he fought Jamel Herring years ago. Like, I knew Jamel Herring, and that was a fight where Shakur Stevenson actually looked good. Outside of that, when was the last time we were entertained by not only Shakur, but the opponent that he was fighting? So the narrative leading up to this fight was for Shakur's benefit. Because if you could shut up, Floyd Schofield and his father in a good, exciting fashion, then that will set up a better fight for Shakur after the fact. So really, Schofield is just a stepping stone for Shakur. Even though I don't really like Shakur, but I'd be happy if he were to win this fight for that to be a gateway to, let's say, maybe a Devin Haney fight or maybe even Tank, even though I don't think that's going to happen. But a better fight in the future if a better fight could, in fact, be made based on the performance that contingent on a great performance by Shakur. You know what I mean? And then also, let's say if Floyd were to beat Shakur, then that would be, good. Because I would love to see an upset like that. Because again, I'm kind of tired of Shakur having the cachet that he does, but then he never backs up his how should I say, his good name with a good performance. I'm tired of that shit. The last time I went out of my way to watch Shakur Stevenson fight, all bullshit aside, I genuinely fell asleep watching that fight. Genuinely fell asleep. And he was a guy that I was rooting for a while, up until I stopped. So, in essence, I think that this happening also speaks to everything that's been wrong with boxing for some time now. And I think that, the Schofields, really, now, I'm going to be calling them the cornfields. Floyd Cornfield. That's exactly how I'm going to call these guys now from now on, because I will never take either of them seriously ever again. You niggas say that you wanted this fight. You got the fucking fight. And then, I've never heard of this shit before ever in my entire fucking life. The masseuse rubbed the cream. Yo, seriously? And someone said on the internet that, oh, they were probably just using this whole buildup as exposure for them, and they had no real intention of taking this fight, period. And it's like, well, why the fuck would you do that? Because this is business. It's like they built this card also based off of you making this fucking fight. So the fact that they allowed this shit to fall through, it's like you're burning a bridge with, Turkey Al-Sheikh, Riyadh season. You're burning a bridge with them because you're probably never going to get that opportunity again. I don't know, who they're really signed to before that. I don't think they're with the zone. No, because Eddie Hearn been running behind Shakur this whole entire time. So these guys were really the underdog on the business side too. And you burn bridges in boxing, it's going to be very hard for you to get fights like this ever again. They might can get these little itty bitty fights. Maybe if another top dog might want to give them an opportunity, but this isn't going to happen again. And I was genuinely hoping that this wasn't real, and the fact that it is fucking ridiculous. Word to DeMarcus Cousins. This is ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. For real. Because how could you let this happen? This is some corny ass shit. And frankly, I don't give a shit what his father is going to say, because we know it's going to be some fucking cheesy ass, Instagram live or some shit like that, or some interview where he's going to be like, yeah, my son Kid Austin, he's the greatest fighter ever, but, politics and boxing, yo, he's going to say some bullshit. And frankly, I don't want to hear it. It's like, now it's like, yeah, I'm going to have to I don't even want to fucking say I'm going to support Shakur, because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, now, it's like I have more respect for Shakur, because granted, I wasn't watching interviews, but a lot of people are saying this nigga called this shit. And not necessarily because he was behind it, even though I thought, yo, anything is possible in boxing. Yeah, boxing can be corrupt. People can do some dirty, foul-ass shit. If people can take illegal drugs and PEDs and substances and all of that, and judges can just freaking, how should I say, score a fight totally, blasphemous and shit like that, then yeah, I wouldn't put it past people to actually do things like this if they felt genuinely threatened about the guy that they're about to fight. So I gave them the slight benefit of the doubt. But it's like, if you knew all of this shit was happening, if this shit is true, then you should not have allowed that shit to occur. Because what fucking business does your son have dealing with anybody that associates themselves with Shakur? Days out from the fight. Nigga, the fight is on the 22nd. You niggas, it's the fucking 18th. That means y'all was about to weigh in, do a whole bunch of shit, and yo, it's like you let this shit slip through your fingers. Like, now, again, this shit is gone. Because what's the fucking fight card again? I mean, hold on. Let me just double check just to fucking see what the Bivol Beterbiev fight card is and what is left that I'm just, well, as I already know, there actually are some really pretty good fights outside of this, so it's not a total fucking loss because basically, yep. So it's Callum Smith, Joshua Boatsi, and then Zhilei Zhang. Okay, Zhilei Zhang is good. Virgil Ortiz Jr. good. Carlos Adames good, and then yeah, Shakur Stevenson, Floyd Schofield, and then, yeah. So basically, this is still a great card without them. So honestly, I mean, having just double checked that again, I'm not that disappointed. But if I was Shakur, I would be disappointed. And then Floyd Cornfield and his fucking dad, or Floyd Cornfield and his fucking son, these niggas are like literally a joke. You guys are literally a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like they, even if they were to lose, in good fashion, then that would have meant that their stock would have went up, and it would have been good exposure for them, good experience, and then and again, a door would have opened for them that would have led to better fights in the future. And they just completely shitted on that. They shitted on that. And honestly, I can't give them the benefit of the doubt because honestly, if this shit was true, I feel like they wouldn't say, "Oh, we're gonna wait till we get out the country, out of fucking Saudi Arabia." Like, nigga, that's some corny ass shit. That is some fucking corny ass shit. And I hope that, you know, Floyd Cornfield Sr. isn't behind this shit, and he wasn't the one that pulled the plug on the fucking fight himself. And, you know, is telling his son what to do. Because I can only imagine if let's say, you know, his son really wants to fight, and for whatever reason his father doesn't want him to fight, his father forced him out of the fight and was like, yo, we're going to tell them that this is this, and we're not taking the fight anymore because I don't think you're ready. Because Keyshawn said, he was like, yo, I wonder what be happening behind closed doors as far as him and his father is concerned. Because his father seems to be very fucking overbearing. Very overbearing and domineering and controlling. And I just don't put anything past any of these motherfuckers these fucking days. So for somebody that was actually watching interviews about this fight, for somebody that was actually watching, you know, the fucking cornfields and shit, and was actually looking forward to this fight, it's like these niggas like really pulled the carpet out of under a lot of us in the fucking corniest way possible. And this is why I will forever call them the cornfields, because this is some corny ass shit. And anything that they have to do in boxing from this moment forward is going to take place in the cornfields. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just what it is, man. And again, boxing, really, we need to stop. You know, I mean, now let me not even say that. You know, but I just feel like boxing in this day and age now has no place for fighters like that, because because in the end you're slapping fans in the face. Because I know I'm not the only one that was actually looking forward to that fight from the entertainment aspect, even though Shakur was probably going to outbox and outclass this guy. Possibly. It's a slap in the face to me, because I was looking forward to this shit. So anyway, those are my thoughts. If you made it to the end of this video, what are your thoughts? Please be sure, as always, to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.